My guest today playing in the success franchise movie The Expend4bles. He will return in the role of a toll road in the sports movie. Will be released the next September 22. Please welcome Randy Couture. Hi Randy, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. First of all, I want to know, how do you feel about your return in the role of toll road? Probably the role you are the most famous and the character you play that is like more like you, I think, in the real life.
Toll Road's you're definitely back and happy to be back. It was a lot of fun shooting the fourth film. We shot in London. We shot in Bulgaria again, where we shot 2 and 3. And we also shot a little bit in Thessaloniki, Greece, which was very interesting. Enjoyed my new castmates, some new faces and some new people in this film. In the fourth installment, there's only 4 original Expend4bles left. Toll Road is one of those. Obviously, Gunner and Dolph Lundgren, Reed Christmas with Jason Statham, and Barney Ross, of course, with Sylvester Stallone. So, fun cast. Andy Garcia was amazing. Really enjoyed working with him and watching him work. He was a super, super nice guy and a very, very impressive actor. Tony Jai and Iki were incredible to watch them work, their stunts, the way they move. They're just so fluid. Both those guys were incredible. Obviously, Megan Fox is a huge name for this one, and Curtis Jackson. 50 Cent was just that.
For all people, is it probably 50 Cent?
Yeah. I worked with him before on a movie called Set Up, and we had a blast. He was in Grand Rapids, Michigan about 15 years ago. So was happy to see him added to the cast, and he's got a very special charisma, and he's a great guy. He's a fun guy to work with.
To work with all the stars again, do you think we can say that it's like to play with the all-star team? It is to take the chamber with all the boys and have fun, because you are all the all-star actor. You play in so many movies, and now you are back together.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun, and it's a great group of guys to hang out with. Everybody assumes that there'd be egos and issues on set, and in all 4 films there have been absolutely none. I think we just have such a good time. I think we're all excited to be in such a big film with such a great ensemble cast.
Next question now, Randy. How your character and mentality have grown in the last 13 years since the very first movie of The Expend4bles?
Yeah, I think Toll Road has had an interesting journey. In many ways, I feel like Toll Road is kind of the glue that keeps the group together in some ways. He's kind of the conscience or the Jiminy Cricket of the group. He's the one that's doing psychological therapy, trying to deal with his post-traumatic stress, and always reading books, trying to better himself and figure himself out. And it's been a fun extension with Expend4bles 4 for the character of Toll Road as well. He's a little mouthier. He's a little more aggressive in Expend4bles 4 than he's been in some of the other films.
Oh, so the surprise of Toll Road is more aggressive in this new movie?
Toll Road is still Toll Road, but he's certainly developed as a character, and I've enjoyed being part of being Toll Road and part of his journey. It's been interesting.
All right.
But I think you're correct. It's the biggest film that I've certainly been a part of. I think probably Scorpion King 2 is probably the close second to anything that the Expend4bles has done, and that was a big Universal property with The Mummy.
Can you tell us what is the story of this new movie?
Well, there's a bad guy that has pilfered some nuclear arms and is doing his best to stir up some problems, both politically and regionally, with this nuclear weapon that he's obtained. and of course they want to send the Expendables in to get the weapons back and thwart the effort to cause problems. The Expendables get sent in to do the jobs nobody else wants to do. And I think that's kind of the fun part of the group, because we know we're a bit crazy.
Always crazy. According to you, which new face in this movie will be the most amazing and why? I know that Megan Fox is now in the group. We have a Citizen, like you said before, and another actor. Who and why?
Oh man, I think there's really great new faces. Obviously, Andy Garcia has a long history in acting, and been in some great films, and Tony Jai, obviously The Raid, and Iki are amazing martial artists and great additions to the stunt work and the fighting and everything that happens in an Expendables. Curtis Jackson's a great guy and brings his own experience. He's doing a lot of stuff on Stars. He's got a lot of big films and a lot of productions out there. He's big and becoming very, very big in the business. But he's also a great performer and has very special charisma. Obviously, Megan Fox is a huge addition to the team. She's a huge role in this film. Obviously, as a love interest of Lee Christmas, but she's an operator as well, and the stunt coordinator who did all the stunts, coordinated all the stunts for this movie. His daughter played her stunt double, and she was incredible. Yeah, she was fantastic, really, really good. And I think at the end of the day, that's going to make Megan Fox look like $1 million when she pulls off a bunch of the stunts and stuff that she does in this movie.
Everybody knows that Megan Fox is very beautiful. She is amazing in all in act, but she can badass on the tournage or when you shoot the movie. She can be a badass girl.
Yeah, she does a great job. She really does. I think people are going to love her character, and is obviously very sultry and fun, and at the same time, she brings something special to that role, and I think people are going to like that a lot.
Cool. In your point of view, why this final movie will be the best of the series?
I think we went back to the R rating for this one. Obviously, the third film was the only one that was PG-13, and I think there's just something about these movies that throw back to the old 80s action that people love, and I think it did better as an R-rated property. It's a little grittier and with blood and the guts and the violence. In a strong 80s action flick, I think that's what people like, and I think that's why this one's going to do well.
I'm very excited about this new movie, but just before I leave you, maybe one or two questions. Tell me, what next for you? Do you will promote the movie a lot? I know that I heard something about you will play in the family comedy soon too, I think.
Yeah, I just finished the family comedy, which is kind of the first family comedy I've done. It's called F+. We shot last month in Orlando, and it was a lot of fun. I was very impressed with the group of kids, 12 to 15-year-old kids that play these middle schoolers. And I played kind of a very serious, very aggro school security guard, middle school security guard who takes his job way too seriously. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun doing it. The kids were fantastic. I think we came together as a group, as a cast, and just had a lot of fun making that movie. I'm not sure when that one's going to be out, but it's in post-production now, and obviously Expend4bles 4 comes out this Friday. We just had Outlaw Johnny Black, a Western that I did a couple years ago with Michael Jai White, come out last Friday on the 15th. So obviously been busy stuff in the box offices right now, and that's really cool. Michael's movie was a lot of fun. I love the Western genre. Play a bounty hunter in the film, and Mike wrote, directed, and stars in that movie. It's a lot of fun. I think people are going to like that if they love Westerns. This one's a fun one. So yeah, I've been staying very busy, which is good. Did one called The Bellkeeper, I think, that's coming out pretty soon as well. Was a supernatural thriller that I had a lot of fun working, again, with another new young cast and a group of people that was a lot of fun to hang out with and to play some characters. It's such a strange thing.
I cannot hang up before maybe one question about mixed martial arts. Everybody know who you are, so the question is, what is your opinion about the sport now? And do you think UFC, say the big league for the fighters, what's your opinion about what happened now in the mixed martial arts?
Well, obviously, I think mixed martial arts has exploded globally. It's become the biggest combative sport in the world. In many ways, we've overtaken boxing, and I'm a huge boxing fan. I still love boxing. I always did. So, obviously, we're getting a lot of these crossover fights. You've seen Askren and Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva and others, cross over and try their hand at boxing. You got the big Tyson Fury, Francis Ngannou fight coming up here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in October. I'm going to be at that. I think the sport has exploded and has solidified itself as a combative sport for this generation. I think we're going through some growing pains. I think the fighters need to unite and get together behind the Fighters Association and create some minimum standards and minimum treatment, payment, those sorts of things for all of the athletes in our sport. I think if the UFC and Jake Paul are showing us anything, it's that the fighters aren't getting paid what they should be getting paid with regard to what the promotions and the promoters are making. Show me another professional sport in our society where 13 to 15% of the money that comes in from any one event goes to the athletes on that event. That's ridiculous. And so that's the area where I think we need some improvement. Health insurance, 401k plan, retirement plans, and their fair share of the money that comes in from these events, I think is what needs to happen in our sport right now. I'm obviously very excited to be part of the PFL, the Professional Fighters League, where our finals are coming up here November 24th. Taking the sport of mixed martial arts and putting it in a true sports format has been very, very interesting. They're paying the fighters very, very well. The fighters know exactly when and who their next fight is. It's a tough season. I think probably the toughest season in any sports. Fighting 4 times in 7 months, 7 or 8 months is a tall order, but the fighters seem to love it. It's been exciting to watch. They're getting paid well and getting taken care of very well. So I think that's a step in the right direction for our sport as it continues to explode on a global scale. When we had 22 or 23 countries represented in the PFL this season, and just launched PFL Europe. I think next year you'll see PFL Middle East and PFL Africa come on board. Francis Ngannou is going to be a big part of that PFL Africa movement, so that's going to be very interesting. The company just continues to explode very, very quickly and is doing a lot of the right things for the right reasons, so it's been fun to be involved.
Totally agree with you, Randy. I always think that you are a great human, a great leader, and I think a great ambassador in the sport and now in the movies. So thank you again for your time. It's always an honor to me to talk with you. And I'm very excited about your new movie, Expend4bles, coming on theater September 22. And new movies that I know you work on will release very soon too.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate you. Have a great day, and thanks for having me on.